Welcome to the Efficientpreneur Show with Ahmed Al-Karemli, where you learn how to build and scale your business profitability online with less time, effort, and cost, so you can enjoy a fulfilling lifestyle.
Hi everyone, AK here, and welcome to the Efficientpreneur Show. Actually, this is the first time we are rebranding the show name from the Be Efficient TV into the Efficientpreneur Show. And the mission of this web TV show is to help you build and scale your business efficiently to the next level with less time, effort, and cost. And today I have with me the founder of Freedom and Rewind, a lifestyle business entrepreneur, and a dad of four, as he likes to call himself, Ryan Lee. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here, and I didn't realize today was the first day of a new rebrand, so I thought this was the inefficient entrepreneur, so I'm kind of screwed. I was going to talk about the slow, boring, awful, inefficient way. Obviously, I joke around, but my goal is just to make you laugh the entire time and give zero content to everyone listening.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
That's it. We're going to have 1 hour of fluff ready.
All right. So who is Ryan Lee?
Who is Ryan Lee? Well, you said it before. Really, my most important role is being a dad. I mean, I have 4 kids. They're my life. As of this recording, they're 8, 10, 12, and 14. And everything I do, I build my businesses. I do everything around being able to be with them and coach their sports and be with them all afternoon and night. So that's my most important role. Everything else is secondary. But you know, people said entrepreneur. I'm maybe more of a founder, more of an advisor. I started a long time ago. My first quote unquote online business was back in 1999 when I was working as a full-time gym teacher in the Bronx, and then was training athletes on the side. I just built a simple website to promote my personal training company and started writing articles, and that's where everything started. It was just this kind of. It's been a long process, and I started in health and fitness, and I started doing really well online. And then other fitness professionals said, hey, can you teach me how to do it? I said, sure. So I taught them how to build their business. And all the big health and fitness online people were originally my students, or now they're students of my students. And then other entrepreneurs like, well, Ryan, if you could teach fitness professionals, can you teach me? I said, sure. So for the past probably 8, 9 years, I've been teaching more kind of general entrepreneurship and building businesses and creating systems, and recurring revenue is what I'm known for a lot. And just recently, I came back into the health space just about a month ago. I mean, that's where I started. That's my passion. I never started a business thinking, okay, I'm going to teach entrepreneurship. I just happened into it. It was fun. I love talking about it. I love teaching it. But I love the health and fitness and personal development type stuff. So, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey, and I'm just here to help people live a better life and cut through all the BS.
How your life changed since you had your first child?
Oh man, I mean, the minute you have a child, everything changes. Like the second the baby comes out, because all of a sudden it's not about you; it's about your child, and you know. Things change. You learn to become much more. I'll use the name of your show. Much more efficient. Because you know, everyone talks about hustle and grind, and you got to hustle 24/7. I never bought into that. I never cared about that stuff. It was never about the money for me. It was about having more time with my kids.
Is that only the first 10 years, or like? And now you feel that you have more time for your life?
It's always been like that. I've always, even before.
This episode is brought to you by the Efficientpreneur Club. The Efficientpreneur Club is a private and affordable one-on-one business coaching club for business owners and entrepreneurs who want to build and scale their business profitability and performance with less time, effort, and cost, and without risking their freedom. So whether you are still figuring out the right business model, strategy, and pricing, or you need help to improve your funnels, ads, sales, and conversion, then the Efficientpreneur Club is for you. Your business challenges are not going to fix themselves unless you fix them today. And the consequences of not addressing that today is your business profitability and performance will not improve, and your relationships and health will continue to be affected. It's no wonder that building and scaling a business becomes so stressful over time, but it doesn't have to be that way. The Efficientpreneur Club will help you take your business to the next level with a private and affordable one-on-one coaching with me personally, tailored to your unique needs. I will help you clarify your direction, set a strategic action plan, and guide you step by step to build and scale your business efficiently. The Efficientpreneur Club will also provide access to an extensive how-to video library, the most highly recommended tools, and a supportive community of like-minded business owners to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement, and advice. The Efficientpreneur Club is the perfect place to be if you want to maximize your profits, minimize your workload, and scale your freedom and efficiency. So check it out at efficientpreneurclub.com and say bye-bye to generic courses, secretive gurus, and expensive mentors.
Before I had kids, it was about being with my wife, and before she was my wife, she was my girlfriend. And I made sure, even before we had kids, when I was working, I spent about 6 months working in like a corporate job. A company bought my website. This was back in 2000. I kind of had this corporate internet marketing job for like 6 months. And I said to the person, look, this job, I think the hours were like 9 to 6. And by the time I'd get home, it would be 7:30. I wouldn't have dinner with my wife. I said, I'll get in early. I don't care. I'll get up 4 o'clock in the morning, but can I get here at like 6:30 in the morning so I could leave by 3:30 or 4 so I could be home by 5? So, and this is before I had kids, because that was the most important thing, was being with, at that time, before I had kids, was being with my wife. And she said, okay. So I was first one in this entire office building every single morning for 6 months. So it was always the most important thing. And I learned that from my parents. I hit the lotto with my parents. They were just all about family and being there for each other and making that the most important thing. And my dad owned a retail store, yarn store, but he went to all of my track meets, and he always made myself and my sister his priority. So I learned it from him. And the first 6 years out of college, I worked in a children's rehab hospital. And man, talk about like just putting things in perspective. Like it really was never about the money for me. It was just about living a good life, enjoying every minute, trying to help people, trying to do the right thing, and making the most important thing the most important thing.
How do you see the difference between the make money business or business and the health business, health niche?
It's in terms of in terms of your competition, they're both pretty cutthroat. I'm going to be real. They both tend to push the envelope. So internet marketing, though, goes for they really play to people's emotion. I guess some of the health people do too. So the internet marketers, they make everything sound so easy. How to make $100,000 a month with this automated site, formula, app, plugin, renegade, douchepreneur thing, right? They make it sound really easy. What they're not telling you is the truth, which is the hardest friggin' thing you're ever going to do in your life. Nothing's easy. I mean, yeah, it's difficult. It's not easy having 4 kids, but it's easier than being an entrepreneur and building a business from scratch. I'll tell you that right now. It's not even comparable. So they make it sound easy. So I tell people the truth. It's really, really, really hard. In health, what they'll do, especially in the nutrition space, they lie. They say, oh, this bottle of supplements has this special herb, and it's a secret herb, and we slaughtered this tribe just to get this berry, right? You take it once a day, and all the fat melts off, which is it's BS. Can supplements help? Yeah, they can help a little bit. They can maybe give you that extra 3, 4, 5% increase. But if you're going to have your pill and wash it down with 3 donuts and a slice of pizza, you're still going to gain weight. So both extremes lie. There are good people in both markets as well. There are some really good people that are teaching entrepreneurship, some really good friends of mine who do it honestly and ethically. And then there's same thing in health, people who just tell you the truth. So it's also interesting, that's your competition-wise, if you're talking about your actual customer, the quote-unquote internet marketing, people are desperate, and they're looking for a quick fix, and they're willing to believe a lot of lies, and it tends to attract a lot of opportunity seekers. So people come in and out, and because it's really hard, so many give up and so many quit. So it's frustrating. Especially if you see someone who's really smart and you know they could do it and they just give up. I'll be like, well, what have you done in the past 24 hours or 48 hours to market your business? Because they'll be like, oh, I get no leads, no sales. What have you done in the past 24 to 48 hours to market your business? Tell me one thing. Nothing, right? Or I do Facebook. Well, what do you mean you do Facebook? Well, I do Facebook posts. Let me see. And I'll look, and they haven't posted in 4 days. And it's like the picture is like a shared Tony Robbins quote. Well, it's not really going to make you sales. With health, like we just launched this company, Rewind, with a super bar. And it's really cool because the compliance is much higher. They're like, all right, I'll have this bar every morning, and I'm starting to eat better. I'm starting to move because I'm telling them the truth. I said, look, it's simple, but it's not easy, right? We're going to start changing your habits. We're going to do one thing at a time, but they're complying and they're reordering and they're into it and they're feeling it and they're feeling good. So it's much easier to have changes in health and wellness and fitness and nutrition versus trying to build a business from scratch.
So you started first. How did you start online? Like you started selling products and then you turned into recurring like membership sites and
yeah. So from 99 to the end of 2001, so a couple of years, I was just playing. I was trying to figure out what to do. So the first thing I started selling was sports training equipment because that was my market. It was for strength and conditioning. It was strength coaches and sports coaches, people who coach baseball players and people who train athletes. So I found a company that drop shipped training equipment, medicine balls, resistance bands, stability balls, all that kind of stuff. People would order through me. I had a little shopping cart. I had one of these free carts. I'd process the order. To show you how old school this is, I would have to get the credit card, handwrite it on a slip, and get one of those things, like the old carbon copy things, and then go to the bank every day. And then it would take a couple days to go into my account. That's how it worked. And that's how I started making money. Then I started charging for sports training. I was like one of the first to do online personal training. So people would pay me at that time, I think it was like $99, and I would design a training program for them. A guy would say, okay, my son is a 16-year-old baseball player. Here's the equipment we have. Here's his goals. And I would design a training program. Well, here's what to do week 1 and week 2, and here's the sets and reps. And they'd pay me money. Sometimes they'd send a check or do that credit card thing. Then I started selling sports training physical products, not digital. This was really before ebooks. This was videotapes, VHS tapes. And I had some of my friends who created VHS tapes, and I would resell those and give them a commission, or I'd buy them at wholesale. So they would sell them to me for $15, and I would sell them for $30, and I'd make $15, and I'd sell a lot of them. So, and then I started doing ebooks, but then I had all of this content I was creating, lots and lots of articles, and then I was giving it away all for free. And then after about 2 years, I said, let me figure out how I could turn this into a real business, something with recurring revenue, as you alluded to. And I basically took all that content and said, okay, now it's a membership site. Now, I think at that time it was like $50 a year. For $50, you get access to all of this training equipment.
Which year was that?
That was the end of 2001. Oh, wow. So this was the first membership site for strength and conditioning. I don't know anyone who was before me with that. There was a couple of health and fitness membership sites, and then there started to become some bigger players. At the time, there was something called like eFitness. So other people started, but this was early. I mean, as of this recording, this was 17 years ago. So I've been at it, for a little bit, which drives me a little crazy when someone teaches, hey, I'm going to teach you how to build a membership site, and they never actually created one, or the only success they had was creating was their membership site on how to make money with a membership site. I'm like, why don't you build something outside of online marketing and then come back to me and tell me how you did? Because it's a different world. And I only operate in real world and stuff that, actually.
Do you find it more difficult outside the internet marketing space?
At the beginning, everyone says, oh, there's this whole thing about hustle, and 100% of success is up to you. Timing has a lot to do with it. timing is really important. I had really good timing because I was the first back then. So back then it was easy because there was nothing else. But it was different because back then there wasn't as much available free content as there is now. So then it was like they wanted to just drink from a fire hose. The more, the better. So now it's shifted the opposite. So I found it pretty easy back then. And even when I launched membership sites for entrepreneurship, it was kind of easy. Now it's much harder. And now anything with making money, if you're going to teach marketing or online marketing or offline marketing, any of that kind of stuff, and it's a membership site, it's all about niching and specific. I mean, I did a coaching call for a guy about 3 days ago, and he's like, I want to create a membership site for all entrepreneurs. I said, well, who's going to join? Well, it's going to be small business owners, you know. I said, so you're telling me a person who owns an ice cream shop and a personal trainer and a dry cleaner, they're all going to join? He said, yes. I said, not a chance in hell. It's not going to happen because there's niche membership sites for each of them. So, for example, I know the guy, Jim, who created restaurantowner.com, which is a membership site for restaurant owners. So if you own a restaurant, what are you going to join? General business, watered down entrepreneur training, or you're joining restaurant owner, where it's checklist and restaurant and everyone's speaking the same language? You're going to join restaurant owner. So it's all about tight niches and verticals if you're going to go that market.
And then you build Freedom, which is teaching people to build membership sites. When you started Freedom?
Freedom was a couple of years ago when I went through I had some really big ups. I had a great run, and then everything kind of came crashing down a few years ago. And this was like kind of my comeback. I dropped everything. I sold businesses. I said, okay, I'm going to start from scratch. I'm clearly in the entrepreneurial space. What am I going to do? And that's where Freedom came about.
So what happened? Like that crash, what happened?
It started after my fourth child. First, there was the business stuff. We had a supplement company. It was going great. We relied on affiliates. We were affiliate driven because I had so many relationships because I built so many businesses in fitness. All of the online trainers were using our company as their back end, which was amazing because they were driving all the traffic. We didn't have to pay for any customers. But what happened was one of our top affiliates left and took everyone with him. So we went from millions of dollars a month in revenue to it drying up within a matter of months to then millions of dollars in debt because we had all this inventory and all these blanket orders. So that was rough. I didn't take a paycheck for years and years, and we just had to pay off debt.
Which industry was that?
Nutrition.
Okay.
Yeah, that was nutritional supplements. So that started, and then I launched a print magazine, which failed. It actually did okay. I tried to make it a recurring revenue, but the problem I had was I tried to make it monthly. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm the recurring revenue guy. But the print runs were too long, so I would send them content, and people would be billed for the second issue before the first one even came. It was a disaster. And I had just signed a long office lease. I had, all this office space. I couldn't get out of the lease. Right about that time, then my mom, who I was really close with, was diagnosed with cancer and passed away within 2 months. Then, not far after that, my father-in-law was diagnosed with a brain tumor and then had a massive stroke. So all this turmoil, and I'm getting financial stress, the emotional stress, and then I have to travel more to make more money to speak at all these events. You know the way these events work, the marketing events, right? I would go to these events, I'd speak, I'd pitch, and split the revenue with the speaker. So I was traveling a lot, and I was staying out late and drinking and started to gain weight. And all of a sudden, my joints started to hurt. I'm like, what the hell is going on? My hands, my feet. And then I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. It's called psoriatic arthritis. And it was really painful arthritis. So here I am, 30-something pounds overweight, autoimmune, lost my mom. My business is failing. I have to keep traveling to keep this thing up. We just bought a multi-million-dollar house. Like, talk about the weight of the world on my shoulders. And I still want to be there for my kids. And so it was rough. You know, if that gives you an indication of where I was. But I still had to kind of put on a good face and try to be positive and try to do the right thing. But it was hard. And when I look back at my marketing during those couple of years, it got really dark. Like I was cursing a lot. I was aggressive. I was angry. I was bitter. Here I was. I built all these guys' businesses, and they all were making more than me, and no one gives a crap. No one cares. They only care what you could do for them, and there's no loyalty. And like, well, hey, look, this other guy's paying us bigger commission. See you, Ryan. No one gave a crap. So I learned some very valuable lessons.
Mainly internet marketers or like people in the health industry, supplements?
Both. Really both. Kind of everyone. Everyone was, and look, I should know. I'm kind of gullible in some ways. People are looking out for themselves, and I get it, but I've never operated that way. I'm always loyal. I'm always going to help other people, and I'm going to do the right thing and try to. And I can't tell you how many big name people that are on stages in front of 20,000 people now that everyone knows that I've coached and helped and done free calls. And then the minute I email them, it's like radio silence. It's unreal. And it still happens to me. So I never learned my lesson, but I'd rather just give, but I don't let people take advantage of me anymore.
So freedom like took you out of this trouble, or like what happened?
It did. It helped the financial stress because it brought back this recurring revenue. It helped the stress of, because I was known as the guy who creates so many different products. That was kind of like my shtick. They're like, oh my God, you can create like 5 products a week. Like I'm a machine, and still ideas are always in my head, but it became stressful trying to do too many things and kind of living launch to launch and doing all this stuff. So eliminating, getting rid of all that and just saying, okay, all of my energy, all of my creativity, I'm just going to put into freedom. So this kind of wave of simplicity washed over me, and the recurring revenue and everything. So that reduced a lot of my stress, the stress of trying to create new stuff, the income stress because now the recurring revenue was back, and not having to travel anymore, because after all this stuff happened and it affected relationships with my family, I told them I'm not traveling anymore. And for 6 years, I didn't travel. I didn't speak at one event, not one. I turned down, and I still get asked just about every weekend to speak. I don't do it anymore. Very, very, very rarely do I speak. Maybe once a year. So, yeah.
When you launched Freedom, it wasn't you offer like one-on-one coaching in it, like private section, or just it's a content and people subscribe and
it's content, and we have a private Facebook group. So I'm in there all the time answering questions, and we have over 6,000 people in there helping each other. And I'm very purposeful in the way we build our community and who we attract and who we don't want. I don't want to be a quote unquote internet marketing company. Never have, never will. I don't want people kind of in and out. If you say, hey, I just want to create recurring revenue, I don't care what I sell, we're not for you. We want people who have a passion, an idea, they're excited about something, they have an expertise, and they want to build their business legally, ethically, morally, the right way, and build a business that serves other people. If you're just hopping and you want to do some stupid PLR, Warrior Forum, idiot thing of the day, we're not for you. We're not. They're not in my world.
I will go deeper into membership and ask you more detailed questions about it. But I know that you love Rewind. So tell me more about Rewind. How did you start Rewind?
So Rewind was, I had these kind of health up and down, and I would lose some weight and gain some weight, and then my autoimmune would start feeling better, and I couldn't get the system working. And don't forget, my background was health and fitness. That was my master's degree, exercise physiology. And I'm like, why can't I figure this out? And about 18, 19 months ago, we came back from vacation, a February break, and I couldn't fit back into my pants. And I got sick the day coming home. I went to the doctor. They weighed me. I was almost 200 pounds. I'm only 5'8". My blood pressure was getting high. My autoimmune was back. And I was like, my pants, I needed bigger pants again. I'm like, that's it, done. So I said, let me just start with the morning routine, because that's what made me successful in my business. Every morning I had a set routine. The most important thing first, simplicity. For me, it was email. So with nutrition, what's the thing? Well, let me have something I know that's easy. I know that's simple, that I don't have to do a lot of preparation because I have the 4 kids. It was a bar, and I bought a whole bunch of bars, and every day I would have a different one. And it was working because, I had enough calories and there was some protein, and it would kind of gain momentum, and then I'd have a good lunch, and it started to work. I started to lose weight. The problem, the bars were terrible. The most of the protein bars had artificial sweeteners, or they had whey protein, which is not good because it causes inflammation. Especially, it's not good for autoimmune. A lot of them had gluten, and they have pictures of like cookie and cake on the cup, and they're awful. Then I tried the green bars, which were healthy but tasted terrible, and I couldn't even choke them down. Then there were fruit bars, which tasted really good, and they were sweet and chewy, but there's a lot of sugar and no protein, so I was hungry 20 minutes later. And then the granola bars, I just didn't like the way they tasted. I just don't like granola bars. So I'm like, well, why can't there be a bar that has the health of the greens and the fruit and has protein and has fiber to fill me up and is vegan and is gluten-free and tastes really good? There was nothing on the market for that. So my brain went, and I'm losing weight. I'm feeling good. I'm exercising every day. I'm like, this is it. There's a need for this. I can create a nice, like, fun business, something I'm excited about, something I'm using myself, something I'd be proud to tell my family and friends about. And that was how it came up. I mean, that was the idea. I truly built it to serve my own needs.
So you went to like a chemist or people like manufacturers and
I went to a bunch of different so the first thing I did was map out, okay, well, how am I going to create these bars? Well, here's the ingredients I want. Now option one is to create them myself, rent a commercial kitchen. No way in hell I was doing that. It's too much. And another option is to buy all the machines to do the bars, which those are millions and millions of dollars. You need employees, you need raw ingredients. No way. So then I went to manufacturers, and I went to a whole bunch of manufacturers, told them this is my idea for the bar. Here's the recipe. Kind of went back and forth with a bunch of different ones, got samples, found one that I liked who got closer first time. We just kept going back and forth, tweaking the ingredients. Okay, lower this 2 grams of sugar. Let's add another gram of protein and fiber, and let's remove this ingredient, put this one in. Well, you can't have that because it's not going to be vegan anymore. So it took a good 8 or 9 months to get it right and to have the taste really, because that was the most important. Not the most important. One of the most important things. If it didn't taste good, no one would stay with it. You wouldn't eat it. So it had to taste good. And I knew we nailed it because I was working with their food scientists and going back and forth. And the person who was my rep said, Ryan, we're mailing you this next batch, but I think we got it. And I said, how do you know? She said, I taste hundreds of these, hundreds and hundreds, and every one I'll take a bite and be like, all right. She said, yours is the only one I've ever eaten the whole thing, and I want more. I'm like, we got it. So I'm like, that's it. And and look, the lesson, kind of coming back to whatever business you're building, you got to have a good product. Whatever, I don't care if you're selling a nutrition bar, I don't care if you're selling an ebook or a course, or you're selling coaching calls, it has to be good, because otherwise people won't come back. And everyone is so obsessed with funnels. How do I get more people? And they forget about the current people you have. And we are obsessed with taking care of our customers. We call them rewinders. Every box, it looks like a boom box. We write their name. We write handwritten notes. We include little gifts. We give them T-shirts. Like, we're obsessed with customer service, and people feel it, and they're coming back, and they're loving the bar, and they're loving the product, and loving the way it makes them feel, and how we make them feel. So it's.
Do you have flavors or like just one flavor? And what it does, like it helps you lose weight, or it helps
we don't say
just
that.
Gives you protein?
Yeah, well, there's one flavor, because when it's perfect, why change it? But we have the one flavor. We don't say.
What's the ingredients of that flavor, of the one?
So
flavor?
it has. People, when you talk about the flavor, people have said it tastes like a Fig Newton. Some people said a Fig Newton. Some people have said a Tootsie Roll. So it kind of has a sweet, datey feel to it, but it has different greens like spinach and kale and spirulina. The protein is organic almond butter, organic cashew butter, pea protein. We have quinoa. We have strawberries, blueberries, cherries. We have a little bit of cocoa and coconut. So we have all these great flavors, and there's a really cool flavor profile, because at first when you smell it, you kind of taste a little bit of the greens, and then you start biting, and then you taste a little bit of sweetness. It's chewy, and it has a little bit of crunch. And we have 7 grams of fiber and 7 grams of protein. So and it's only 140 calories. So it's kind of a lighter bar, but because there's this really good quality protein and fiber, it fills you up for hours.
It's a protein bar. Yeah. It's a protein bar.
Well, it's not.
What?
It's a super.
So it gives you energy?
It's a super bar. And we created our own. It gives you everything. That was the idea behind it. There's people say, well, how are you different than like a Quest bar? Well, we're not a protein bar, and we're not a green bar. We're a super bar, where we are an all-in-one bar. We give you everything. It's going to give you energy. It's going to give you protein. It's going to hold you over. It gives you the antioxidant power of fruit. It gives you some of that cell-nourishing stuff from the green. So it just gives you everything you need, and you feel good about it. And all of our customers, they're giving it to their kids. My kids love these bars. And now we just started playing with different recipes where we're chopping up the bar and putting it and making smoothies out of these bars because it has so many cool ingredients. So,
but that's not makes it, like we were talking about niching and membership sites, makes it difficult to sell, like when you generalize it like this, or it's what's your perspective?
Well, first of all, we're creating it's more difficult in the fact that we're creating our own category. So we're creating a super bar category. Eventually, there's going to be other people who are going to try to copy us and rip us off and say they're a super bar, and that's fine. You want the category to grow. In terms of being niched, the way we're differentiating, so that's the big differentiator, is that we're super bar. But another differentiator is our brand, and our brand is called Rewind. And if you look at our marketing and you look at our colors and you look at even the name Rewind, it's about rewinding the years, and it has that thing of like the 80s, cassette tapes, VHS tapes where you had to rewind. We talk a lot in our marketing about pop culture from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We'll reference arcade games and music and Duran Duran and Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and all that fun stuff to have people remember what it was like. So we're very purposeful in who we're going for. We tend to be 35 to like 55, maybe 60 years old, people who want to feel better, tired of BS, and want a really good product and know it costs a little bit more because our product is expensive. It's non-GMO. It's $3 a bar. Well, it's not that I mean, there are bars that are $2.49, $2.79. There are bars that are $4, but we're not a 99-cent bar. So it costs us more than that to make it. You can't.
How you are selling it? Like what did you apply from the internet marketing world on the offline business?
Well, what we did, we're doing things in a couple phases. So it just launched 4 weeks ago. Phase 1.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, I would like to invite you to check out Efficientpreneurclub.com. The Efficientpreneur Club is the right membership for you if you've been working to grow your business for a while now and things aren't happening as fast as you want. If you are tired of generic courses, secretive gurus, and expensive mentors who charge $2,000 to $5,000 a month then fob you off onto sub-coaches or connect with you in group coaching calls, if you are already stressed out about your business model, sales, productivity, team, and systems, if you are scrambling in the evenings and on the weekends and you never have time for yourself and your family, those problems are not going to fix themselves unless you fix them today. Why? Because your business profitability and performance are not going to change unless you do, and your relationships and health will continue to be affected. Building and scaling a business becomes so stressful over time, but it doesn't have to be that way. The Efficientpreneur Club is a private and affordable one-on-one business coaching club for business owners and entrepreneurs who want to build and scale their business profitability and performance with less time, effort, and cost, and without risking their freedom. The Efficientpreneur Club will help you take your business to the next level with a private and affordable individual coaching with me personally. I tailor the program to your unique needs. I will help you clarify your direction, set a strategic action plan, and guide you step by step to build and scale your business efficiently. The Efficientpreneur Club will also provide access to an extensive how-to video library, the most highly recommended tools, and a supportive community of like-minded business owners to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement, and advice. The Efficientpreneur Club is the perfect place to be if you want to maximize your profits, minimize your workload, and scale your freedom and efficiency. So check it out at efficientpreneurclub.com and say bye-bye to generic courses, secretive gurus, and expensive mentors.
Was let's make sure our systems work, because here's where internet marketing screws up. They come out guns blazing with a launch, but they're not ready. Their systems aren't ready. Their customer support's not ready, and everything falls apart, and they have egg on their face. We want long-term customers. So I knew for the first month we're not going to spend $1 on paid traffic. We're not going to do any. We have no affiliates. Everything is just through my own network. right? Like people who know me, some people have been on my business list. We don't even have our health list anymore because we sold all that stuff years ago to other companies. So it was from scratch. And I said, let's take our time. We do all of our own warehousing and fulfillment right here. So I handwrite letters to each person physically. So we do it all. So we control everything from, distribution and warehousing. We sell it directly to customers. So we save a lot of money. And that's why we're able to pass on savings.
Manufacturer in the U.S.?
Yeah, the manufacturers in the U.S. So they ship it to us, and then we ship it out to customers. But so we knew.
And you have, you have the rights and.
Well, it's our bar. Yeah, we created the formula.
Yeah,
no one else can do it. So we knew for the first 4, 5, 6 weeks, let's test it out. Let's make sure labels are printing okay and postage and it's getting to customers quickly and post office is picking up and working on all that stuff and getting the right cards and inserts and making sure emails are. So we knew the first month or two was going to be just that, and that's the phase we're in now. But now we're seeing reorders happening, and it's great. And all of a sudden, it's like a flywheel. It's starting to gain momentum, and people are posting, and now it's starting to grow. And we just started 24 hours ago, really simple Facebook ads. And by simple, I don't mean I mean small. So we're going to start testing at like $100, $150 a day. Let's just start kind of testing. Let's see lifetime customer value, and then as we do it, I've been taking $1 out of this company, and I probably won't for a year or two, and I put it right back in, and we put it back into traffic, and we build the customers, and we build relationships, and then we're just gonna kind of.
So first you didn't start to pitch like other stores, or like you started with your tribe, with internet marketers tribes mainly, or like membership sites.
But you know what's funny? Here's the funny thing. I started doing it a lot on my own social media, like my personal one, and it's amazing how many customers are friends and family members. Just this morning, one guy ordered 2 boxes. It's his second order. He ordered 2 boxes for himself and 1 box for maybe it was a relative, because I saw he ordered and sent one to someone else. The way I know him, when he was 10 years old, I was a camp counselor. He was one of my kids, and he was in my bunk for 3 years. So he's now 35 years old. I've known him for 25 years, and that's someone who's now a customer. So it's relationships, and people who've known me my whole life know that I'm always going to do the right thing, and I'm never going to sell crap. So that's how we're built.
And you ship in the U.S. or
U.S. and Canada now. Yeah, we just started Canada.
And how much is the box and how much is the shipping cost?
How much is what was that? How much is what?
The box, like the.
Oh, the box. We sell right now. It's a box of 12. So 12 times $3, so it's $36. We don't play the game of buy one get one free and 20%. It's because there's really not a lot of margin. We're just very straightforward. It's like you're always going to get our best price. And what we do is we charge in the U.S. $5 flat shipping. So for $5, get as many boxes as you want. If you want 20 boxes, it's going to cost me more out of my pocket. But so we have people buying multiple boxes to save. With Canada, we can't do that because it's expensive to ship, and I'll actually lose money on every box I ship. So they're just paying whatever our cost is. We just pass it on to them. They're just paying wholesale. I don't look at shipping as a profit center. I don't want it to be. So we actually lose money on every order we ship because we're charging $5, but it costs us more than that. We send everything United States Post Office flat rate priority. Everything's upgraded automatically, and it costs us more than that. It costs us more than $5. So we lose, but that's okay. I want my customers to win. I want them to feel really good.
So did you set targets, and like what's the next stage? Like you start trying to sell to Costco, trying to sell to other stores?
No, that's the thing. Like I have no desire to play the retail game. It's funny, some of the local stores, so I live in a town called New Canaan, very, very wealthy town. The bagel store asked if they can carry some boxes because we were in the high schools during the finals week and all this kind of cool stuff. And I gave them a box and they sold it and they said, okay, we want to order a few more. But I don't really want to do that.
So I
want to sell direct.
Brand it and sell online directly to the customer.
I want to sell directly. Like if there's a company I want to model, even though they're a different category, it's Warby Parker, who sells the glasses directly. You can't go to Kmart or Sears or wherever. I'm dating I think they're all out of business. But you know what I mean. You can't go to a store. You can't go to Amazon and buy Warby Parker. Just like Rewind, I want them to have a direct relationship with us. I like handwriting the notes. I like sending them free gifts. I like knowing who's buying, because we're not a bar company. We're going to be beyond
question
that.
Speculations like most of the retail is going to die, and it started already dying in the US because of Amazon and eBay. And so do you think that some industries will counter back by this strategy, by not listing the products in Amazon in order to be able to stay in business? Or
I think so. And I've still kind of, Amazon is the only place I'd even consider maybe going. Because there's so many people that trust Amazon just with shipping, and they'll even pay a premium. But I do think more people are just going to start selling directly. I mean, it's been happening, shoe brands and Nike. I mean, they're trying to sell directly because they don't need stores. They don't need people to go into Foot Locker to buy their sneakers, right? Why not? Why give Foot Locker 50% when they could just buy directly from you? As long as you have the systems in place, it just makes sense. And then you save customers money because you don't have all those layers of, wholesale. Because if you're selling to stores, the wholesaler is buying from you, because a store isn't going to want to have 400 different accounts. They go to one or two big wholesalers, and the wholesalers want to make their piece. So if you're selling a box for, let's say, $100, they're going to buy it from you for $35. They sell it to the store for $50. The store buys it from $50, sells it for $100. So there's not a lot of margin in there either, and you don't get the customer name, so you can't develop relationships. So there's obviously some big advantages, and I know some companies that have gone that retail thing, but that's not my strength. I like direct-to-consumer play. I like going right to them. Will things change in the future? Maybe, but right now I'm pretty focused on what it is I want to do, and I'm not. As I said at the very beginning, family comes first. So no matter what, I refuse to do a dog and pony show, to kiss butt, to try to get into stores, fly here to Oregon. I could give a crap. Really. I want to be home with my family. And if that means making less money, that's totally fine with me. I really don't care. I was happy working in a children's hospital making $26,000. I don't care. I don't care about material things. I don't buy anything. So it feels really good to just not care and to build the business the way you want and not be at anyone's beck and call. So I'm just kind of doing my own thing.
You said that you started running Facebook ads, like kind of a funnel. What you are doing with that? You are sending directly the traffic to your site to just see the sales page, and
it's really, really, when I say really early, I mean 24 hours ago. So we are going to run two separate things. We're going to send traffic directly to the e-commerce site to see if people will buy the bars directly, and then have retargeting if they don't. And then
which is under your site or in a different
on our site, at rewindtoday.com. Okay. And then directly to the product page. And then we're going to take some more traffic, which we haven't even started. So we just started last night, and then we're going to start taking other traffic and do it to a special promotion. I can't say what it is now because things are going to change and we're going to test, and I don't want to mislead, but it's the ability to get some bars. It's like a free plus shipping kind of thing with some bars. So we're going to test that and see which one works and how they back out. And then whichever one works, we're going to put more resources into that. So we're just we're just testing two completely different things.
Why you decided to start this? Because of your passion to the industry and health industry, and don't you think that's gonna shift a little bit your focus from freedom?
It has shifted my focus a little bit. I mean, I don't recommend this for everybody. I'm going kind of against the advice I give. I tell everyone pick one thing and just laser focus. Now, here's the caveat. So for freedom, that was my one and only focus for 3 years. But we built systems. We have a full-time team that's running smoothly. So because that's running, now I'm able to take my attention and start building something else, building a secondary business. I wouldn't have done this, nor would I recommend anyone doing this. If I just started Freedom a month ago, I wouldn't be starting a nutrition company too. Because it's unless you have a lot of money and hire a lot of people to run different things. Otherwise, it is really hard. And I tell people who have, I want to do a health site and I want to do a business site. And I said, no, it's hard enough to get traction in one. But at this point in the game, and the fact I'm 45 and I've been doing this for a long time and self-funding and have a team already running Freedom, I'm able to do this. And I am just doing what I love, like what I'm really, really excited about. And this just gets me excited. Life's too short. Like I'm going for it.
I want to ask you more about like membership. How to find like your
You shift hard, don't you? You shift those topics. You go right from one.
No.
You have your list of throw out the damn question. Just let's talk. Come on, here we go.
No, actually, most of the questions were on the membership, but like I know that you love Rewind, and I wanted to ask you and dig it.
I just want to help people. And here's look. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm gonna lay it out about membership sites. Okay, for most people, it's not a very good business thing to start with. It's great. You want to have recurring revenue. You want to have recurring revenue in your business somehow, some way. But often the first time people find you or do business with you, it should be a one-time purchase. Because it's very hard to get traffic, cold traffic, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, all right, I'll spend $30 a month with this guy. No, it's not that. It's much, much harder. It's easier to sell a $500 product than it is to get someone to pay $50 a month for a membership site that's ongoing and kind of never ends. So I just want to lay that out there. I'm always going to.
So people don't think like instead of buying a $2,000 course or $500 course, they say I would go for $50 to check all the content, and I can unsubscribe within 2 to 3 months if I'm all in. I'm gonna focus on the content. They don't have this mentality from your experience.
No, they don't. They don't, because they feel like, okay, if I'm going to be in the membership site, when is this, like, what's going to end? Is there a system? Is it just a bunch of stuff? And that's how most people promote their membership sites. Here's just a lot of stuff, but there's not an actual system and no one actually benefits. So I think a membership site works if you position it correctly and say, okay, here's our core system. Here's our A to Z. Here's our 4-week, our 6-week, our 8-week. You get this for free when you become a member of this program, and then we'll always update it with new stuff to add on to this core knowledge you have. But yeah, I'm not going to lie and tell people, oh, that's the one thing to do is start a membership, because you see that and people spend so much time and money and effort building these membership sites and never get any members because they don't have the good hook, they don't have good positioning, their content's just blah. You know, there's a lot of free content out there. I could pretty much do anything just looking at YouTube. So why the hell am I going to pay you? You've got to have a really good idea.
For organized, less content actually. You should
less. Yeah, it's less is more. Maybe it's curated. Maybe it's because of you, or it's personality driven, or it's because we're a niche and we're a community, or there's coaching. There's a lot of different ways and reasons why people will do it, but you got to know that, and you have to strategize and figure out your real reason for being. And that's why when I do coaching calls with people, they're terrified because I ask them these questions and they start sweating because they don't have the answer. And the first question, and it always stumps them, I'll say, why should I do business with you, or why should I join your site? And they're like, well, I care more. Everyone says that, right? My stuff's better. Well, prove it. How is it different? How is it unique?
So are you with the membership sites that have, let's say, a personal touch in terms of one-on-one coaching, or a private area, or a community that gives more depth to the membership?
Yeah, there are three. I've come up with these 3 C's of continuity. Although I saw a guy write an article recently who is taking credit. He said, "Oh, my 3 C's." I'm like, "You full of crap. I created it." But anyway, I digress. I can't stand when people steal my stuff. If you're gonna steal my stuff, fine, but at least give me credit. So the 3 C's are content, which is, the articles, the videos, the courses, all that stuff. Then there's the coaching, which is access to the guru, the voice, the personality, the expert. And then there's the community, which is, interacting with everyone else. And are we all on the same page? Is this membership site for newbies? If it's a health membership site, is it for a guy who wants to get super fit and pick up chicks? Or is it a 55-year-old housewife who wants to lose 35 pounds? Totally different people. Different.
How to find the avatar? How to find the ideal customer? What do you advise people to do to find their ideal customer? Well,
to find them or figure out who it is you want to serve. Yeah, I mean, you have to. I can't answer that because who do you want to serve? That's it. I mean, you have to figure out who it is you want to serve. And this is where people get it backwards. So I give a little exercise. I'll say, okay, you're going to do a full day workshop on your topic, whatever it is, health, business, marketing, whatever. You have 100 people at this hotel room. You have a full day, 8 hours, and you're going to do a workshop on whatever this content is in your membership site. You look out into the audience. Who are those people? Who is it you want? Not, well, these are people that like my stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Who do you want to be in there? Who do you want to spend the day with? Who do you want to have the lunch breaks with? Not you're hiding in the back. You're like, oh, my God, I can't wait for them to leave. You start there. That's where you start. And what you find is most people are not creating communities around who they actually want to be with. They're doing it because what they're told, or they may say, oh, I'm doing it for golfers. You hate golf, a-hole. Why are you doing it for golfers? Just because the money's there, and they're going to see right through it. So figure out who your audience is. That's why with Rewind, it's moms and dads like in the 40s who remember Duran Duran. You know, like I could talk to them all day, and they speak my language. It's not a 23-year-old guy with a beard, man bun, and tats. That's cool. I'm not judging. There's a lot of people that serve millennials. It's just not me, and that's fine. Do they still buy our stuff? Yes, but I'm not really focused on it.
I see the 80s theme even in your online marketing business. Yeah. So is it like also with the internet marketers, you say that I serve people
pretty
only
much
above 35?
If you go to my events, and if you look at my mastermind group or my 1 or 2 day events, you'll see we're not typical internet marketing. They're definitely 35 and older. We get very few, young 20-something-year-olds. They're just not vibing with me, and that's because my messaging. I don't take pictures in front of the Lamborghinis. I don't show off my house. Do I have a Range Rover? Yes. I don't take pictures in front of it. I wasn't brought up that way. And it's funny because I live in New Canaan. All my friends are these multi-millionaire investment bankers. One of my neighbors just bought his second house in Nantucket for $15 million. I mean, they make so much more money than these friggin' wannabes online. You never, ever see them posting pictures of their houses, their cars. I hustle. Like never. You would be ostracized in our community because if you have money, you don't need to show it off. So I just wasn't brought up that way, and I just don't attract. And I'm just like, look, the money's about freedom. It's about doing what you want with it. It's not about showing off. And if you have to show it off, you don't have it. So I just attract real men and women. They tend to be moms and dads. They tend to be a little bit older, and they want to create a real, ethical business. And I'm very happy where I am, who I'm serving, who I'm for. Has it changed over the years? Yes, because when I started this, about 20 years ago, I was I was like 26 years old. I wasn't married yet. I didn't have kids. Now that I'm going to be 46 and have 4 kids, I'm in a different phase, and that's fine. And you're going to change, but do what feels right to you and serve the people you want. Don't pick an avatar just because that's who you've been told to have.
Have you found any types of more profitable membership sites, like any different types or kinds?
There's been profitable. I mean, I have one guy doing great in the golf market. We've had people in health and fitness. Every market has businesses that have done well and that I've helped over the years. I will say one common denominator among them is the pricing. It's not too low, because if you have a membership that's $5 a month, you think, oh, I'm going to get so many more members. You're not, and you can't do paid traffic because the numbers don't back out. And if you can't do paid traffic, you can't scale with predictability. You might rise pretty quickly at the beginning with your list and your warm leads, but then it's going to flatline and there's going to be drop off and you're not going to be able to generate new customers.
So what's the best pricing if we have a membership with only content versus a membership with content, community, and one-on-one coaching?
The more interaction, the more
maximum.
You position it more as a coaching group, the higher you could charge. But I would say, in general, a general type membership site, I probably wouldn't want to go less than like $30 a month because you can't really do paid traffic.
Are you with like building paid communities on Facebook or off Facebook to have more control, like on some platforms?
I mean, I used to have a Facebook group. It was just a private Facebook group, and it was $500 a month. So there's no limit.
Do you recommend any plugins and things for WordPress membership sites or?
We've tried both. Right now, unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you look at it, it's on Facebook. It's using Facebook because that's where everyone is already. They're already there. They're already logged in. They already have the app. Everything's all set. And I know Facebook is starting now to test in beta the ability for Facebook to actually process the credit cards and do a private paid Facebook group. I don't know how that's going to look, what their fees are going to be. I don't know if you want to give all your control to Facebook and have them processing, but just something to look at down the road. There's a million. Just pick whatever's easy. We use one called Member Mouse. Wishlist Member's been around for a long time. You don't have to get crazy. You don't have to get fancy. Just make it simple, and don't spend a lot of money initially on it. I mean, we've done membership sites that are just through email. You know, you have a list of everyone who's a customer, and you email them the content. Not a big deal.
So how to create? I've read some of your articles about creating profitable newsletters, and so how do you do it? Like what do you use, and what's your ingredients for having a profitable newsletter?
Niche. It's all about niches and going premium. That's it. Finding a specific market and becoming that voice of, okay, this is like, there's so much information in this space. Here's the really narrow, like the best of the best, the curated stuff that you need. Here's this one big actionable piece of advice this month that's going to return your investment many times over. Because it really does work more for return on investment type products. Yes, you can do it in a hobby, but and there's also something to be said about taking it offline and having someone with an actual physical newsletter. I like that.
And after let's say they subscribe for a lead magnet, do you like for how long you send them value content before you pitch them for your product or membership? Like, do you have a certain formula for that?
By the way, after this, you got to stop reading questions. It's just I need to have a conversation. I feel like I'm being interviewed for this freaking thing, and you're killing me. All right, here's the answer. Okay, I am all about in the moment, real marketing. Just like with the questions drive me crazy because I feel like there's like this agenda, and I can't stand when there's an agenda. I don't like delivering it. I don't like being fed it. That's why I have such a resistance to these planned out autoresponders. I have a resistance to these personal development events where they make you start clapping and start hugging people and massage. I hate that crap. It's so fake. I want real, and I love delivering real. So people get on. They'll whatever the opt-in is, they'll get one, maybe two emails, and then they're in my regular live emails. And I email almost every day.
So you don't have a autoresponder like set emails for, let's say, your podcast or something else?
Nope.
Just
maybe one or two. They'll be like, okay, here's the welcome. Here's the thing we promised you. The next day, okay, just want to make sure you got it. Here's the link again. Stay tuned because you're going to start getting our email. And then they're in, and then they're live. And I'm always and I love writing emails that are real, that are in the moment. There's something about a live email that an autoresponder can never replicate or duplicate. You just can't. That's why evergreen webinars, why I get it, will never outperform a live one. And a live webinar will never outperform an in-person event. There's just something about real. And if I sit down and I say, hey, it's Monday morning, or, and last night I saw the All-Star game and it was amazing. Right away, people are like, okay, this is really happening. This is real. When you write an autoresponder, you can't do that, right? Because you don't know when people are reading it. And you can't date yourself. You can't say, if you wrote an autoresponder and you say, oh, and, I don't know if I agree with President Bush. Like, what? What the hell is he talking about? It doesn't feel real. It feels like this more, and your content becomes more general because you have to play it safe, and playing it safe is a kiss of death. And I want to be real. And if it doesn't convert quite as well as maybe this kind of thought out autoresponder, I'm okay with that. I'm more about quality customers who are going to stick with me a long time, who get it, who are feeling the vibe, versus people who are just buying. I don't want to sell by manipulation. I want to sell by inspiration. I think Simon Sinek said something of that nature, and I'd rather inspire than manipulate. So let's get real. Shut up.
With with the freedom, you sell through the launch formula you have, or like you have a webinar, or you have what's your funnel?
We were doing the latest one we did was just an opt-in. Hey, get our checklist about how to build a membership site. That was it. Then a welcome email, and boom, they're in my live sequence. As easy as you can get. That's it. That's it.
Are you like with the closed membership?
Open all the time.
Or open membership?
All the time. They both have benefits.
Why
and I tried originally the closed one. It didn't work for me and my personality. I like emailing a lot, telling stories, engaging, and it's not really fair if for 3 months I'm talking about all this great stuff in the membership site and people can't get in. I feel like I'm teasing them for 3 months. And I want them to have the stuff. What the hell's the point? I want that, and I get the closed membership, and yes, it works really well because there's built-in scarcity. I don't care. I want to I'm obsessed with serving people, with helping them, and if I have stuff in there, I'm not going to hold them out just because there's just to improve my scarcity.
Yeah, there is 2 schools for that, but like how about the people who don't have a launch cycle like every 6 months or 3 months? Like people, sometimes they just get them on a waiting list, and within a couple of weeks they open it for them. Or like you are 100% with the open.
I'm 100%, and I get it. Again, they both have advantages and disadvantages. You have to figure out what your personality is. Like I said, I tried it like that at the beginning, where it was closed. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. It felt like it stunted my emails because I couldn't really do that, and I didn't want to play the waiting list game. Someone's like, "Well, he does keep it open," like this. It's just, as I said, I don't like games. Like, stop playing effing games. Just tell me the truth. Stop with the bullshit. Stop with the internet marketing, with the launches, with all the crap. Just get real. Here's what I have. It's $1 a day, $1.25 a day. It's really, really good. If you want to join it, here you go. Come on in. And if not, that's cool too, right? It's like the gyms, those stupid, you go in, oh, well, we're running a special today. It's instead of $2.99 joiners fee, it's only $99. You're full of crap. We know you're running this all the time. Stop lying to me. Just tell me the truth. That's what people want. And that's what I'm going to do. And does it potentially hurt conversions? Maybe a point, maybe not. But what I think makes up for it, I get better people who get it, who are in because they're in, and they stick around longer. And that's why our retention is so high, because they're in. I'd rather have 1,000 people who get it than 5,000 who are in and out, and pain in the butts, and refunds and all that kind of crap. I don't want to deal with it.
So you have 2 lists for prospects and members, and for prospects you continue to send.
I have 2 lists. I have prospects and I have members, and I email them both.
Okay, so the
same.
Okay,
because I'll tell them what's in the membership site. If you're a prospect or a member, hey, here's a story, here's what's going on. Oh, and by the way, if you're a member, here's the newest thing we had. Click here to log in. And if you're not a member, click here to get it. That's it. Simple.
What's working for you how do you increase churn?
I'm about simplicity.
Like,
how do I increase churn? You mean decrease churn?
Decrease churn, yeah.
How do I decrease it? I just keep putting out good stuff. Really. We provide 10, 20, 50 times value. People come in, they're like, to the point where they're like, I can't believe you give us all this for this low amount of money. Like, it's insane. How do I leave? That's it. And then you kind of have little mini cliffhangers. What's coming next? What's coming soon? You keep them engaged. That's the secret. We don't do games. We don't do, you get points and all this other crap. We've tried everything. Nothing increases retention like telling the truth, being real, being transparent, giving really good stuff, and then saying, hey, here's what's coming next week or next month.
You are not I've been reading and researching a lot. You're not like me. You're not a big fan of the high ticket 5,000, 20,000 a month, and you predict that it's dying industry.
I've been saying that for years. Well, I predicted the rise of the coaching, which happened right when I said it. But there's only so many people that can pay $5,000 or $10,000 for coaching. And I'm okay with people charging it as long as you're providing value. If I pay you $5,000 and you give me $10,000 of value and I make it back, it's great. I have no problem with that. However, if you pay me $5,000 and your whole shtick is to teach me how to charge someone else $5,000, and it's like just a pyramid scheme, and you're not actually a coach, and you've never built a business, you can go F yourself. Like that's BS. I hate it. It's the biggest scam in the world, and I can't tell you how many people I've done coaching with, and they're like, I was taken for 10 grand by some like 25-year-old idiot who screwed me. It happens all day.
And always they hit for the first month and people unsubscribe. So their strategy is just to charge.
It's
people.
churn.
Yeah.
I'm all about lifetime. I've had people on my list for 20 years. And I want to take care of people and serve them, and they've gone on the journey with me.
I'll ask you about your personal life. What's your hobbies beside running the businesses?
My kids. I love my little daily 20-minute workout. I like playing tennis, and music. My whole office, we're doing a lot of. We just got a whole bunch of orders, so we're doing fulfillment in the other room. But you'd see, I have hundreds and hundreds of records. I love collecting records. That's fun. With my son, we just started collecting baseball cards again. I used to always do that when I was a kid. I had a whole baseball card business, and movies. I'm a movie fanatic. I go to the movies a lot, like by myself in the middle of the day as a break. I love taking my kids to the movies. I love watching movies. I've seen just about everything. I am a big movie fan.
Do you struggle on the planes like me? Like you don't find anything to watch?
I don't watch movies on the plane. I usually I like the plane because I'll do some writing. I'll read. I to kind of let my brain kind of unwind, I'll read some really good fiction books like thrillers and political thrillers and mysteries, or I'll just start writing because I've written a couple books, and I'll write article ideas, and I have that's my baby right there, like all my ideas, I love writing. Yeah, absolutely. That and postcards. Writing all the different things, like now that we're creating some new products, writing all the different ones, laying it out on the floor. I'm kind of old school like that. I need to touch and have that tactile kind of thing.
So you still read like paperback?
Yeah.
You don't? Okay.
Yeah, I tried Kindle for a while. I don't like it. I like the book.
Any favorite books? Top 3 books?
You mean fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction. I get asked this at just about every podcast, and it really depends on where you are with your business. So for me, if I'm in I just want to focus. I want to just kind of I want to almost turn off all the noise. I'll read a book like Essentialism or The One Thing. Those are just about doing the one, right? If I wanted to get more kind of direct marketing businessy thing, there's Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson's a really good book. If I feel like more business, big strategy, it's like a Jay Abraham book. It just depends on kind of where I am. But I also tell people, don't get book obsessed, meaning you see this all the time. Hey, I want to build this business. What are the top 10 books I should read? And people, they go in the groups, and there's Facebook groups, and that always gets the most posts. Read this book. And they're like, I'm on it. And they disappear for 6 months. No. Read one friggin' book, put it down, and now implement. Now do what you learned. Because you could manifest all day, and you could read and read till your eyes come out of your head. Unless you actually take action and do something, it doesn't matter. I could have thought about Rewind for 20 years and read every book about it. And there's a guy who created the Kind bars who wrote a book about it. And all these things. I could have done that all day and never taken action. But I would read. I would learn one thing. I'm like, okay, that's the thing. Boom. And I go implement. Read one book, implement, and then give your friggin' book away. Go donate it to the library. I don't care about how big your library is. I could care less. It doesn't matter. It doesn't impress me. There's that whole a rich man has a big library, a poor man has a big TV. That's bullshit. You know what a rich man has? Because all my friends are rich as well. We have big TVs because we'll read the book, we implement, and then we relax, and you recharge your batteries. That's the way the most successful people really do it.
Any mentors that really helped you in your journey? Like you can mention some.
I never had one. I picked something from each person. So I would learn one thing from Jay Abraham or Dan Kennedy, some of the old school guys. So I would learn different things from different people, but I never followed one, because what I saw was the more I was, especially when I started speaking at a lot of events and I started seeing a lot of marketers, a lot of them, their personal lives were terrible. They're on their fourth marriage. They don't talk to their kids. They're miserable. They have a drinking problem. I don't want to be like any of these guys. The one person who I've always looked up to and said, this is how I want to model my life, is my dad. He built a retail business, a yarn store, treated people well. Everyone, all his customers and his family and the community all loves him. And he's done things ethically and took care of his family. That's my mentor. That's who I model my life after, not after some of these marketers, especially the internet guys. Some of them are no comments.
What is your routine like since you wake up in the morning until you sleep? Do you have a specific routine, or every day is different?
It's a pretty specific routine. Wake up. First thing I do is I have my bar in the morning, water and supplements, get out the door, go to the coffee shop, write my daily emails, and then spend a couple hours just doing the hardcore work and writing and all that strategy stuff. Then a really good healthy lunch, and the afternoon is my flex time. It's stuff like this and being interviewed on podcasts that go on for 2.5 hours. It's all these it's this kind of stuff. And then I get home. I usually get home by around 4:00, 3:30, and depends on the season. I've coached baseball and football and soccer and lacrosse. I shuttle my kids around, just all that good stuff. And then dinner with my family, a little workout at night, done. And then when they go to sleep, at an hour of just Netflix or whatever.
Last question. If you have the chance to advise yourself, what would you advise yourself? Your younger self.
What would I advise myself? Just stay the course. Just keep doing the right thing and continue to put your family first. And that's it, man. Just simple stuff. Simple stuff. And always do podcasts where they have 455 questions. That's the second.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Thanks, everyone. Be efficient and stay efficient, and see you soon with another leading expert. Thanks for watching or listening. It means the world to me if you would leave an honest review of the show on iTunes or any other podcast platform that you are listening through. And big thanks to all the people who have already reviewed the show.
Discover how to build and scale your business profitability and performance with less time, effort, and cost. Check out Efficientpreneur.com.